بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن والاه أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Hadith number 110 is عن أبي مسعود عقبة بن عمرو الأنصاري البدري رضي الله عنه قال لما نزلت آية الصدقة كنا نحامل على ظهورنا فجاء رجل فتصدق بشيء كثير فقالوا مراء وجاء رجل آخر فتصدق بصاع فقالوا إن الله لغني عن صاع هذا. Abu Mas'ud, not Ibn Mas'ud, Abu Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, another Sahabi, his name was Uqba ibn Amr al-Ansari al-Badri, which means he fought in the battle of Badr. He said, when the verse of Sadaqah was revealed, Allah revealed a verse encouraging Sadaqah. Remember, we are speaking about the chapter of Mujahadah, the chapter of this in the book that we are busy discussing, is the chapter on striving, making an effort, working hard to please Allah Azza wa Jal. He says, when the verse of Sadaqah was revealed, كُنَّا نُحَامِلُ عَلَى ظُهُورِنَا. The Sahaabah were seen carrying things on their backs, meaning wealth that they had, things that they could give fi sabilillah, for the sake of Allah. He said, نُحَامِلُ عَلَى ظُهُورِنَا. We were carrying them on our backs. They came out of their homes willing to give, even to the point they were carrying on their back. فَجَاءَ رَجُلٌ فَتَصَدَّقَ بِشَيْءٍ كَثِيرٍ. He said a man came with plenty, giving it for the sake of Allah, and he came with so much. بِكَثِيرٍ فَقَالُوا مُرَاءٍ. There were people who said, this man is showing off. Mura meaning Riyad. This man is mura, he's showing off. He's doing this to please others. Another man came out, فَتَصَدَّقَ بِصَاعٍ. He came out with a sa''s worth of could be dates, could be anything. And the sa' was the measurement that they would use at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. فَقَالُوا, and then they said, these people said, indeed Allah is not in need of this. He doesn't need the sa', like this is worthless. You're coming with a little bit of sadaqah, Allah is not in need of this. These people who were saying this were munafiqeen. These were the hypocrites that were living amongst the Muslims, concealing their Islam. And this was their signs. Their signs were there were those who were always attacking the Muslims, the efforts of the Muslims, belittling the efforts of the Muslims. So Allah Azza wa Jal revealed the verse, الَّذِينَ يَلْمِزُونَ الْمُطَّوِّعِينَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ فِي الصَّدَقَاتِ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَجِدُونَ إِلَّا جُهْدَهُمْ فَيَسْخَرُونَ مِنْهُمْ سَخِرَ اللَّهُ مِنْهُمْ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. There are those who slander some of the believers for donating liberally. Some of them came with lots. And mock others for giving only the little they can afford. Allah revealed this verse, speaking exactly about what these munafiqeen were saying. They were blaming those who have little to give, and they are belittling the efforts of those who came with plenty. وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَجِدُونَ إِلَّا جُهْدَهُمْ. This is all they could afford. And then Allah said, Allah will throw their mockery back at them. Allah will throw that mockery back at them, and they will suffer a painful punishment. عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. And this hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. The reason Nawawi, our author rahimahullah, brings this hadith into this chapter is to show the attitude that the Sahaba had. One ayah came down about sadaqah. You saw Sahaba coming with everything. You saw Sahaba carrying things on their backs. You saw poor Sahaba who didn't have much coming with the little they could give. The moment there was a verse to do something, they came out immediately and they tried to fulfill whatever they could of that khair. Try to acquire whatever good they could possibly get. This was the Sahaba. Similarly, when there were other incidents like, for example, Allah mentioned when khamr became haram. We know khamr went through stages. On the third stage, it became completely haram. There's narrations that speak about the Sahaba when they heard khamr is haram, they went out and they poured it down the streets. They poured it, the narration said it flowed through the streets of Medina. You had khamr flowing through the streets of Medina. Why? Sahaba heard it's haram, so they went and they threw it all out. This was the attitude of the Sahaba. This is mujahadah. People who were striving, people who strove to achieve Allah's pleasure. to achieve Allah's happiness. Even if it was small deeds. That's all they could. And we know your deeds are not judged on how much, but on the quality and the intention and the ikhlas. And this is what the munafiqeen were saying, that Allah is not in need of this. What's this insignificant sadaqah you're bringing us? This is un-Islamic. Why? Because when we look at the Quran, Allah said, whoever brings an ant's worth of good, he will see it. In another hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, if somebody gives sadaqah, that's equal to a date. One date's worth. From something that he earned lawfully, not from haram earnings, because then it doesn't count. Allah will only accept that which is lawful, pure. And Allah will take the sadaqah that he gave with his right hand and foster it. It will grow. Yurabbiha. Allah will foster it and take care of the sadaqah until it becomes like a mountain. That one date that you give can become like a mountain. You come on Qiyamah, you thought, I gave £1, 50p. What's one date worth? Not even 50p. And you come on Qiyamah and you see a mountain in front of you. Because you gave it with ikhlasun niyyah, sincerely for the sake of Allah. Allah accepted it like this. When you come, it's a mountain. So what the munafiqeen were saying is exactly the opposite of what the Quran and Sunnah teaches us. The point of this hadith though is what? Mujahada. Strive, be like the Sahaabah. They are the best of role models that, from the best of ummahs, they were the best of companions, and the best disciples that the Prophet ﷺ had. Out of all the disciples that the Prophets had, the Sahaabah were the best. And this is one example of their superiority, of their ikhlas, of their sincerity towards Allah Azza wa Jal. Wallahu a'lam wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.